Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So I actually received an email like a couple weeks ago about my last grad school video, and the person asked me how I was able to balance school, work, and have a social life. So I replied and I was like, who was that? Because that surely wasn't me, but I was able to manage going to work full-time and going to school full-time. And by that, I basically mean I was able to not get fired and to not fail. So if you want tips on how to balance work and to balance school, then keep on watching. So tip number one, I would say, is to try to stay as organized as possible. I know this can be really hard because you just feel like you're just running around like a crazy person, but trust me, if you write it down, it will help trigger your memory the best way possible. So what I like to do is I actually have a daily planner that I got from Staples. And I know some people use like their iPad, they use their phone, like the calendar or Google Calendar, and that's fine if that's what you want to use. But like I said, I find writing it down to really help trigger my memory. And another thing that I do is I actually will color coordinate certain things. Like if you look, I don't want you all in my business, but if you look, I will use a green highlighter to remind me about my school assignments. I'll use yellow to remind me about stuff I have to do for work, and then pink will be like miscellaneous things. That's, I guess, just regular life errands type things. Not only does writing it down help trigger my memory, but just kind of like the visual of the different colors also help trigger my memory as well. So I actually don't go anywhere without my planner. It's to the point where I even have like a little disclaimer that I put on the front to please contact me, to please contact me if found, because it's that serious. And I'll give like a little small award if necessary, but I've actually never lost my planner, thank God. Thank God. Tip number two, I would say, is to avoid distractions. This is so crucial, and it's so hard for me because my attention span is non-existent. I find it so hard to focus on something for like 30 minutes straight and like just sit down at my computer to read something. So what I do is I actually have I found concentration music on YouTube, and it's been a lifesaver. I just play it in the background when I'm trying to study or when I'm trying to read something. I play it in the background at work, and it just makes a world of difference. I just find like the music, classical music does something to like stimulate how your brain works. I know in Barnes and Nobles they actually sell it, like you could get a CD if you actually want to own it, but I have no problem with just, you know, going online and listening to it from YouTube. So I actually can leave a link of my favorite YouTube concentration music in the description box below if you're interested. Tip number three is to use your paid time off wisely. Many full-time workers like myself, we accrue, is that the way to say it? Accrue. Anyway, you accrue paid vacation time or paid time off or sick time. And I'm not saying to call out sick anytime you have a test. Is that how you wink? But what I am saying is, if you do have vacation time that's owed to you anyway, I would suggest, like if you have a big project coming up or you have a big test coming up, to take a couple of days off prior to the test. I actually like to even take the day off after a test because I just feel completely just exhausted. Same thing goes for finals week or midterms week. If you have the time, I would just say take the whole week off if possible, but if not, definitely take like the day off before you have a big exam. You can also utilize your lunch break. If you have like a hour lunch break, I would say you probably can't get a project done in an hour, but you can always start something. So I would say like 2 days out of your work week, you know, tell your coworkers, okay, I can't, you know, order food with you and sit down and kiki it up at the job. So you just sit down in your office, bring your lunch with you, put on that concentration music that I told you about, and sit down and read for like your whole 1 hour lunch break, and then go back to work. Tip number 4, I would say don't keep school to yourself. And by that, I mean don't keep your employer out of the loop. Make sure you tell your employer that you're in school. I don't know any employer that would have a problem with their employee going back to school, because a lot of the times, you know, they want to see their employees advance, especially education wise, and especially if the degree that you're going for is going to be beneficial to the position that they're in. If you do have an employer that you think might be a little iffy about it, then I would just talk to HR. But I just don't see why any employer would be like that. Also, if you have to take the day off or leave early or come in late because of something school related, then it's really important that they know ahead of time that you're taking these days off, and not because you're just, you know, doing it for no reason at all. Also, a lot of places have tuition reimbursement, so you're gonna have to tell your employer anyway, because they're the ones that have to sign off on the tuition reimbursement sheet. So if you don't want to miss out on this basically free money, let your employer know. Tip number 5 is for you to take some time for yourself. This is kind of hypocritical of me because I really didn't take much time for myself. But this semester I definitely plan to. Every Sunday I'm going to make sure that I sit down and I watch The Walking Dead, and that's going to be my time to myself. It's not on yet. They don't come back until February 8th. Thumbs up if you watch The Walking Dead too. But that's basically going to be my me time. Watching zombies for some reason is really relaxing to me, and I enjoy it a lot. So whatever you find relaxing, if it's I don't know, going out with your friends for drinks, even though I wouldn't say to get drunk, or just going out to dinner, or just hanging out, whatever you do for fun and relaxation, I would say try to do that at least once a week, because you can't just be all work, all school, and no fun. Then you will just, you know, go crazy or get a heart attack and die, and we don't want that to happen. So that's it, you guys. Those are my 5 tips that I have for being able to balance work and balance school. If you found this video really helpful, I would ask if you like it, please. You can also share it. You could subscribe if you want to. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.